So I just finished Wednesday, and I gotta say, it wasn't half bad. To be honest, I was expecting the show to be at least tolerable, because the Addams Family is a very simple concept, and I felt like it was very difficult to screw it up. The reason why this show works so well is because it kinda works as a standalone series. You could enjoy the show without even knowing what the Addams Family even was. If you know nothing about the Addams Family and never once watched anything related to it, you will still enjoy the show just fine. It works great as just a standalone show. Although the show is not perfect, it works for the most part. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and review the show now, so this obviously means that there's spoilers now. So click off the video now if you don't want anything spoiled. So as you guys know, I like to start with the good things first. First of all, Jenna Ortega is the best part of the entire series. As many people know by now, she is a very talented actress, and even before I even watched the trailer for the show, I knew she was going to nail her part, because everyone knows that she can handle any role that she gets. She's just that talented. And honestly, all the other performances by the other people are good too. Which is honestly a little shocking to me, because most of these people have only had like a few roles. Not only are the performances great, but the characters are also really great. Wednesday is the very dark and twisted main character that we expected, and I also like how we actually get to see her use her intelligence in creative ways. We all know that Wednesday is really smart, but we never actually get to see her use her intelligence in a big extent. This show brings her intellect to the spotlight and shows that she don't fuck around. Another character that I liked besides Wednesday was Enid. Enid serves as the perfect opposing personality to Wednesday, being the more erratic and joyful person to bounce off of. These two characters are completely different people, and seeing these two collide was very entertaining for me. Most of the other characters are pretty good too. I like Ajax, I like Bianca, I even like the ugly monster man. And it's even hilarious how they managed to make me like Thing. Thing is a hand, and they actually made me become attached to him. If you can make me care about a fucking hand, then you know they nailed these characters. Each of the characters have their own conflicts too, and I really like that. Enid being the lone wolf because she can't transform into a werewolf yet, Bianca dealing with her breakup with Xavier, Xavier dealing with his nightmares, Tyler dealing with his guilt over beating up Xavier, Eugene with his inability to fit in. These characters just feel like real people because of this, and it's really nice to see. Another thing that I really liked was that the show deviated away from the normal cartoony tone that the Addams Family has. Every single show or movie related to the Addams Family is more of a cartoony creepy than an actual creepy vibe. And what this show did was that it gravitated away from the cartooniness and more towards the creepiness. Honestly, I don't think the show would have worked if they kept the cartooniness, especially because the show does have some very disturbing scenes with monsters, blood, and even swearing.
Holy shit!
Another thing that I liked that the show did, but actually did not expect, was that this show was willing to get weird. This show has vampires, werewolves, ghosts, wizards, dark wizards, and it's something that works for the overall plot, and it also works for Wednesday's character too. There is this monster mystery element that fits really close to Stranger Things. It's like a good mystery, and for the most part, it worked out for me. One last thing that I should praise about is the ending. Wednesday slowly becoming more and more tame over time is the best way to show that her experience at Nevermore has changed her. Even though I like that she has become more tame, I am even more happy about the fact that she is still the Wednesday that we started with. She is still dark and twisted, but just has a little more compassion. This is actually something that I talked about in my last video, where I stated that the best arcs involve our main character being influenced by their experiences to make them better, but not completely changing them. But even though I liked the ending, I did not like the final episode in general. Which brings me into the shit that I don't like. The finale feels like it's from a different show, meaning that it's completely different from the other episodes. The finale just basically brings all of the season's conflicts and mashes it together in one big CGI magical fight. Wednesday goes against the almighty wizard, Thornhill is revealed as the villain and then gets flooded with bees from Eugene, Enid transforms into a werewolf and gets into a big CGI fight with Tyler, who was revealed as the Hyde, Xavier is a prisoner and gets rescued by Thing, the principal gets murdered. This finale is fucking bananas. I don't know why TV shows nowadays don't want to go into the double-digit episodes, but they need to start doing that again, because this is fucking crazy. The problem with TV shows is that the plot needs to be stretched out. So only having 8 episodes is not enough time to flush out everything at a consistent rate. You can do something like that in a film franchise because movies are supposed to be fast, but you can't do that for TV because TV has to stretch things out. But as I said briefly before, the CGI and the effects are also not good either. I know that it's a Netflix show, but for a series that was hyped up so much, I expected better effects. Also considering that there are other Netflix shows that have really good effects, but this one does not. Oh my god, just look at that! What is that? Why does it look like that? Who did the effects on this? Who was it? Somebody has to explain themselves. I don't know what it is with the special effects recently, but it's been terrible for a while now. And while I mentioned that I like the mystery in this, Tyler being the monster was super fucking predictable. As soon as he became the love interest, I knew he was the monster. One last thing that I am not a fan of is the visions. I'm not really sure if she's had these powers before in other films or TV shows, but for this I just really did not like it. The reason why is because it makes the information she receives from them kind of cheap. I also don't like how the visions reveals that Tyler is the Hyde, because as I said before, we rarely get to see Wednesday use her intelligence in creative ways before. And having her find out the truth to a vision is kind of an insult almost. I don't know, it just really bummed me out that this happened. But even with all of these flaws, I still enjoyed my time watching it, and I'm definitely going to watch the next season because I had a great time with this one. Ultimately, I had my fun with it, but they really need to stop making these seasons so short. So when it came to my ranking, I actually couldn't decide because I felt like an 8 was too generous, but I also feel like it's above a 7. So I'm actually going to give the show a half number instead. But don't expect me to do this often because I don't like doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and give Wednesday a 7.5 out of 10.